Hey, happy Friday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. So tonight is Friday, January 17th. This is episode 427 of The Daily Dope. This is the first time joining me, let me point out. This is very casual, just talking mainly about tabletop gaming, board games, RPGs, so on and so forth. Every once in a while we talk a little bit about pop culture or even PC games, but for the most part, it's all tabletop around here. And of course, that means this isn't rocket surgery either, so very casual. Do want to point out this is a live stream, so if you are watching on YouTube, there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay, but I do pay attention to chat as best I can. Sometimes the chat kind of flies past pretty quickly. But if you are watching live and you'd like to say howdy, or maybe you've got a question or a comment, by all means, chime in. I will do my best to respond. And of course, if you like this video, fight the trolls and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, if you do subscribe, be sure to ring that little bell, because not only will it notify you when the Daily Dope goes live within about a minute or so, it'll also inform you when I upload my standalone videos, which there should be one or two this weekend. So keep your eyes peeled. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, please visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. And tell a friend, tell two friends. Help spread the word. I'm in my 10th year of covering the industry. And it's kind of funny because it's almost like some people who follow the Gaming Gang, both on the website as well as the YouTube channel, it's almost like we're part of like an exclusive club. All right, so who do we got in chat? We've got Ronald Griffith, A Gray Day. Dan Lane is hanging out, otherwise known as the other Dan. So that's who we've got in chat so far. So A Gray Day says, how is it Dan C is live the same time as Jeff? Dan should know. I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to imply here. If you're implying like a Batman, Bruce Wayne-ish kind of relationship, a Clark Kent, Superman style relationship here, I don't know where you're going with that. All right, anyway, so, Dan. How is it Dan C is live? Are you talking about Dan from No Enemies Here? I didn't realize he was doing live shows. I did not know that was going on. As I do see, we are seeing some dropped frames going on right here. So hopefully this is hopefully this is not going to be a problem here, because it looks like we're dropping a pretty good number of live frames. So we will see what's going on. So that's why we haven't seen Dan. Dan's doing a live show, what, every weeknight now? It's like everybody jumps on this bandwagon, right? I'm the first guy who was doing live weeknight shows. So anyway, yes, yeah, Dan's. He's doing it just tonight. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I would have thought Dan would have shot me an email saying, "Hey, dude, do me a favor. Keep an eye on this." All right, let's see what happens here. Let's see if we can get off of this frame dropping. Looks like we cleared up, so fingers crossed. We will see what happens as far as the stream. We haven't had problems in quite some time. So cool deal. All right, so anyway, so it looks like Dan from No Enemies here is doing a live show tonight. Kind of surprised because his shows are usually out on Saturdays, but I guess he does record them on Fridays. So cool. All right, good deal. Good deal. All right, anyway, let's jump on into the news. I've got a good mix tonight. So first off, there is a new Scott Almes design that's up for Kickstarter funding. In fact, there are actually, at this moment, 2 Scott Almes Kickstarters that are running at the moment. This one is from Renegade Game Studios. And here's the dope on Warp's Edge. You are Taylor Mind, rookie pilot of the Force's Outer Rim. After a crucial battle, you're stranded far away from your fleet, lost and alone. With resources running low, you jump through warp gate after warp gate, hoping to find the right combination home. But home is not what you find. The warp takes you further out into the galaxy than the Force has ever gone. It's like the Force Awakens. You are deep behind enemy lines and find yourself on the edge of a black hole and on the doorstep of the enemy's mighty mothership. You have a moment of bravery and approach the enemy's fleet. Just maybe you can get through them and destroy the mothership. But before you have a chance to react, the enemy is already upon you. Lasers fire, photon cannons pierce through the blackness. A moment later, your shields are gone, your laser battery empty, and your hull damaged. Your powerless ship splits apart as you fall from the enemy and into the black hole below. Just as your ship crests galaxy's edge, you and infinite blackness takes hold. You are back where you started. The enemy fleet is before you, the mothership looming in the distance. And most importantly, your laser battery is full. You have a second chance at the edge of space, and now you know what's coming. There is a short, about minute and a half video that we've got here for the Kickstarter. As I notice, we are dropping some frames again. I don't know what's going on. Pretty weird. So anyway, let's jump on into this video, and I'm gonna run upstairs. Hopefully I can do this in 90 minutes and see what might be going on with the Wi-Fi. I will be right back.
If anybody finds this recording, this is pilot Taylor Mind. I've been separated from the fleet. My warp point navigation systems were damaged, and I've nearly spent my fuel reserves. Resources are running low. I'm not sure if I'll ever make it home at this point, but I'm not giving up. Well, at least the trip will be interesting.
Warp's Edge is the latest addition to the Renegade Games Solo Hero series. You'll command a single fighter ship of your choosing and battle against insurmountable odds as you fight past enemy forces on your journey home. Your ship's ability tokens are drawn each turn and allocated as you need them. Use the tokens and skills acquired to destroy and evade enemy fighters before the assault on the mothership. During the battle, you'll earn new tokens to use in your next engagements. At the beginning of each turn, you'll continue to draw tokens to keep up the fight. But what chance do you really have with only one ship and limited resources? When your bag is out of tokens, you're out of luck. Or are you just getting started?
Let's try this again.
Warp's Edge is for one player, aged 10 and up. Plays in around 30 to 45 minutes as well. This project is past the 400% funding mark. You can reserve a copy of the base game for a $35 pledge. Well, you can also get the all-in level, which includes unlocked stretch goals as well as some extra goodies, for a $50 pledge through January. I believe it's January 31st. No, I'm sorry, January 24th. That's it. It's about about a week left to this. Expected delivery is June of this year. So, ran upstairs, ran back downstairs. So hopefully we should be okay. I double-checked the router to see what might be going on, and it didn't look like any problems. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the stream is back to normal. Anyway, so this looks pretty interesting for a solitaire game. I think it's like, oh, well, it's been like, you know, I attacked the fleet and got destroyed and I fell into a black hole, but now I'm back. Seems a little wonky. So, I don't know. I have no idea. Here's something that, and I'm not picking on Renegade Game Studios for this, because there are a lot of companies that are starting to do this. But we are starting to see a lot of companies rolling out these Kickstarters where it's like, for one pledge, you just get the basic game. And then you have to have a higher pledge to get the stretch goals that get unlocked. To me, I find that to be kind of lame, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not real keen on that. I'm not keen on that kind of double dip, right? It's either you should charge a price for the game, and then whatever stretch goals get unlocked, people get those. So it just seems cheesy. Also want to mention that shipping is not included. This is another title. We're seeing a lot of this as well with Kickstarters these days, where they're not including the shipping. So I believe the shipping to the US is something like $12 on this game. So you are looking at about $50 just for the basic game itself. But the all-in gives you like a mat, and there's an expansion as well. So could be kind of cool. Could be kind of interesting. It is a Scott Almes design, so we do know that usually means quality, good games. Moving right along, there is a new arrival that's coming from KOSMOS. It's in their Exit the Game line. It's going to be arriving this spring. In fact, it's landing this spring. And I've got the dope on The Stormy Flight. Team spirit, creativity, mystery, and speed are in demand at Exit the Game, The Stormy Flight. The 1 to 4 players have little time to bring a complicated situation under control again. The players are part of a crew on a passenger plane headed to Barbados. Suddenly, they get into the middle of an electrical storm. Water penetrates the machine and parts of the technology fail. Will the team be able to repair the aircraft and land safely? There is not much time left. Bum, bum, bum. You have flown this route countless times already and have experienced everything possible and impossible. Technical malfunctions, turbulence, even tour groups who are flying to Hamburg, Berlin, London, or Amsterdam in order to visit so-called escape rooms. But what's waiting for you today is going to leave everything else in the dust. The Weather Service already announced that things might get a little rough, but now you find yourselves in the kind of electrical storm that can easily throw even an experienced crew into a state of panic. The clouds are almost back, flashes of lightning rip through the dark sky, and rain pounds the engines. Suddenly, an alarm light comes on, then another, and you have an uneasy feeling that the rest of the flight might become the greatest adventure that you have ever experienced. Can you solve the riddles, repair the airplane, and land safely? In Exit the Game, The Stormy Flight, players must use their team spirit, creativity, and powers of deduction. I keep saying team spirit. It's like, I don't know, when I play games, I don't think there's like a team spirit going on. Anyway, so you have to use your team spirit, creativity, and powers of deduction to crack codes, solve puzzles, collect objects, and earn your freedom bit by bit. As with all games in the Exit series, this fun-filled, inexpensive game can be played only once. A lot of times because they have you kind of like destroy the components and things like that. Exit the Game, The Stormy Flight, is for, as aforementioned, 1 to 4 players, ages 10 and up. Plays in around 1 to 2 hours. and it will carry an MSRP of $14.95 when it arrives on April 1st. No fooling, April 1st. All right, so that is the latest in the Exit line. I have never played one of these Exit games. I have actually had KOSMOS ask me if I wanted to try any of their games, and it's sort of, I'm not like an escape room sort of puzzle guy sort of person, so I don't know. So Flaming Huron's in chat, and so is Melwinius Cyrano, old Fram from York. We'll just say Melwinius. Good to see you. So Flaming Huron says, I was busy. I didn't know if you were on or not. That's all right. It's okay. I guess Flaming Huron's going to an appointment. Anyway, yeah, I posted earlier that there'd be a show. So, we got some different companies we're covering today, too, for a change. Speaking of a company I haven't talked about in a long, long time, Mondo Games has an interesting seeming title, which hit stores next month. I've got the dope on Video Vortex. Video Vortex is a competitive deck building game for 2 to 4 players set in a radioactive future Earth inhabited by video-obsessed mutants. Each genre-worshipping character must strategically employ their individual mutant powers while battling opponents and navigating game effects in an attempt to seize control of the wasteland. On their respective turns, players will spend energy to play special cards, power their deck with rentals from the local video store, and eject chosen cards from play to weaken foes. Runtime, the measure of mutant health, is limited and unique to each character. By advancing an opponent's runtime beyond their limit through lo-fi and hi-fi attacks, mutants collect Be Kind tokens, as in Be Kind Rewind, no doubt, as trophies representative of their conquest. Once 3 distinctive trophies have been collected, victory is declared by the reigning champion. How does that not sound right? Wouldn't it just say victory is declared and the person who has those 3 trophies becomes the reigning champion? Why would victory be declared by the reigning champion? Okay. Video Vortex is for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays in around an hour. Will carry an MSRP of $40 when it arrives on February 12th. Well, this could be kind of cool. Mondo Games is odd, though. I have to point out they're a little strange. Okay, I don't want to say strange, but for one, Mondo Games, their website, you'll see right there, it says Mondo Tees, is kind of an odd website. It's all different stuff. It's like T-shirts, it's like statues, it's games. But I do have to point out, Mondo was involved in the Thing board game that was actually very good. It was surprisingly good. That was from Mondo and USAopoly, or I should say now they're called The Op. So, got something else that's also arriving on February 12th. It is a new horror supplement. It's for the Cypher role-playing game system from Monte Cook Games. I've got the dope on Stay Alive. A good scare makes for a great game. It's the abandoned corridor, the flickering light, never quite reaching the deeper shadows. It's that cry in the distance, a child's wail, or some weird animal bleeding. It's the gentle breath on the neck, or that slithering motion just past the edge of the light. It's horror, and whether it's a terrifying one-shot adventure, an entire campaign fighting against the darkness, or an edge of tension added to a more conventional adventure, it makes for great role-playing experiences. Build an entire campaign battling Lovecraftian cults or surviving the zombie apocalypse. Run one-shots that pit the players against masked slashers, crawling xenomorphs, or sinister spirits. Or just get the most fun out of your Lich Queen and her minions at the lowest depths of your dungeon. No matter how you use horror at your table, this book gives you all the tools you need to create hair-raising game sessions and nail-biting campaigns. Stay Alive includes a thorough exploration of the many subgenres of horror, from slasher films to classic vampires, psychological thrillers, the calls coming from inside the house, to monster invasions, zombie apocalypses, to demons, and more. There's also great advice on building your own horror campaign and setting, whether wholly original or kit bashed from shows or fiction you love. An encyclopedia of cipher system horror mechanics, including rules for last survivors, ghostly help from dead PCs, hallucination and dream resets, possession, secret twists, and backup characters for genres with high body counts. There's dozens of creatures, artifacts, and ciphers. There's a complete horror setting, Masters of the Night. There are creatures in our world that should frighten any rational human. But there are other things in the shadows that frighten even you. There are also 3 full-length adventures that explore different horror genres, plus several cipher shorts. The 224-page Stay Alive supplement will carry an MSRP of $44.99, while the PDF will be available at Drive-Thru RPG for $18.99 on February 12th. Do want to point out, there is also a free preview, free PDF. I did not download it, so I do not know how long it is, but there is a free preview that is available at the Monte Cook Games site. Sweet. Monte Cook Games, I like Monte Cook Games. I don't have an opportunity to review much from them. I only done 2 reviews over the years, but I have enjoyed it, and I have actually interviewed Monty, and he was very nice. So he was a lot of fun to talk to. But this could be pretty cool. Obviously, folks out there know I'm a huge fan of Call of Cthulhu, and I always like some additional tips and tricks and ideas to float out there for my Lovecraftian campaigns. But I gotta say, I've been running Call of Cthulhu long enough where I got a pretty good handle on how to scare the piss out of the players, or at least give them a good moment of where they're sitting around going, what the? All right, Kabuki Kid is here in chat. Good to see you, Kabuki Kid. Glowing Turtle is here. I'm not sure if I mentioned Glowing Turtle was hanging out in chat. If I did not, I apologize, because I know you've been hanging for a little bit. So, anyway, there's also my final news piece. Let's stay on the horror vibe, because there is a new bundle of holding for RPG fans out there. And this time out, it is a fantastic deal on an awesome Stygian Fox Publishing lineup of Call of Cthulhu supplements. I've got the dope. Investigator! This all-new Stygian Fox Cthulhu bundle presents tabletop role-playing scenarios and sourcebooks of realistic horror from Stygian Fox Publishing. Though written for the Call of Cthulhu RPG rules, these fiercely imaginative and uncomfortable investigations range beyond the mythos and across many times and locales. Caution, these are not for children. For just $7.95, you can get all 4 titles in the starter collection, a retail value of $42, as PDF ebooks, including the Book of Contemporary Magical Places, the modern-day Call of Cthulhu scenario I Want to Play, the beautiful Cartomancy 23 Lovecraft Country Map Pack Collection, and an unusual play aid, Afterlives, a deck of print and cut cards that describe our investigators' ultimate post-scenario fates. And if you pay more than the threshold price of $19.75, you'll level up and also get the entire bonus collection with 5 more scenarios and source books worth an additional $60, including Nakuko, set in 1990s Japan, The Dark Forest, modern-day Michigan, and Thurston, the shunned town on the D, and Nightmare on the Necropolis Express, both for Cthulhu by Gaslight, Victorian-era role-playing, as well as Autophagia, which is set in 1920s New York. This bundle does run through February 3rd, and I gotta point out, some big savings here, and you're getting your hands on some of the newest releases from Stygian Fox. Autophagia, Dark Forest, Nakuko, those are all brand new. I think I Want to Play is fairly new as well. And got to be honest with you, if you're looking at the $19.75 for the whole shebang, I want to say, I think it's I Want to Play alone as a PDF over on DriveThruRPG is like $14.95. So for less than $20, you get a whole slew of excellent Call of Cthulhu supplements and adventures. Stygian Fox does a fantastic job. They are Emmy award winning for a multitude of releases. And I do want to point out, they are for mature gamers. These are not, old school Chaosium Call of Cthulhu adventures where it's like, oh, well, it's just kind of a monster, kind of, oh, it's the deep ones. We're fighting deep ones again. No, these are pretty bizarre usually, but they are also fantastic. All right, so that is it for the news tonight. Something I do want to also mention, as far as DriveThruRPG, there are a multitude of bundles going on right now that are to support Australian wildfire relief. I believe there are 6 different bundles going on right now, and they are from anywhere from about $50 worth of PDFs to, I believe one is about $460 worth of PDFs, and all different stuff. We've got horror, we've got fantasy, we've got one bundle is kind of like core books and like initial supplements. So do want to point out that is available. I'm not sure how long those are going to run. And of course they are at huge discounts. I think the bundle that's about $460 retail, I think it's like $40, something like that. Anyway, there are 2 organizations that are going to benefit from these charity bundles, and it is the Disaster Relief and Recovery Fund from the Australian Red Cross, as well as Bushfire Emergency, which is from the World Wildlife Fund of Australia. Yes, Australia, not America, Jeff. Not America. So definitely check that out. I do believe all proceeds from those are going to be donated to those 2 funds. All right, so Doug Roberts has popped in. Good to see you, Doug. So anywho, that is pretty much for the news tonight. Don't really have anything exciting cooking. The weather is going to be awful, at least in the Chicago area. I know a big patch of the U.S. is going to have some lousy weather this weekend. So we are getting snow right now. The snow is going to turn to freezing rain. And then it's going to be rain for a while. And then it's going to turn back to snow tomorrow. And then we're talking about Sunday. We're going to hit with the wind, I think, like -18. Ugh, I hate winter. Can't stand winter. So anyway, but I am going to get some videos shot over the weekend. I will get at least one of those up as well. All right, so pretty quick show tonight. I've got some stuff cooking. I'm gonna watch a couple of movies, I think. I don't know, or I might end up just sitting there watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, because I've been kind of binging on those. Although it's kind of funny with Star Trek: Next Generation. I know it should be a good episode. Because I always remember when I would watch and I'd see reruns. Of course, I'm watching on Netflix, but, we had Star Trek Next Generation and reruns all the time. In fact, isn't Deep Space Nine on BBC America now? Don't know why, but it was funny. So if I would see an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation as I was like flipping channels, I would stop and I would look to see one of 2 things. One, does Riker have a beard? So, because if he doesn't have a beard, that means it's season 1, and there's some not so great episodes in season 1. And then I check to see, make sure that there's no Dr. Pulaski in it, because there are some crappy episodes in season 2 too. From about season 3 on, you're pretty much guaranteed at least an all right episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, as well as some true classics. But yeah, I remember I'd be flipping through, I'd be like, okay, Riker's got a beard. Oh, there's Dr. Crusher. We're good. We're all good. But unfortunately, right now, as I'm binging, I am on season 2. I think I'm like episode 18. So I don't know. Probably watch a little of that anyway. So like Flaming Heron points out, like any of the series, they eventually get better. Although, you know, these days, well, of course, Next Generation was syndication, so it was going to have an opportunity to hopefully, you know, make some money and have a few different seasons. But these days, it's kind of like if I will start watching a new series, and if I'm not sitting there after the second or third episode saying, "Yeah, it's pretty good," or at least, I'm kind of intrigued by this, even though I'm not necessarily really enjoying it, I will continue watching it. If not, that's it. Sometimes I don't even give a show 3 episodes. Speaking of shows, I don't know if anybody out there is watching The Outsider on HBO. It's based on the Stephen King novel. I am definitely digging that. I read the book. Well, I listened to the audiobook, I should say. So I know what happens. I mean, you know, there's no surprises here. But I don't know if folks have noticed if they're watching it, but Jason Bateman directed the first 2 episodes. I wonder if he directed the whole series. Kind of surprised. But yes, very good. Plus, yeah, he was really good in Ozark on Netflix too. All right, so I'm just babbling on. Anyway, so like I said, pretty quick show. I will be back on Monday, of course. And as I mentioned, keep an eye out. You should see at least one video pop up this weekend. I will shoot some, and then actually, I'm going to have a back stock of videos that are shot. So a Gray Day says Stargate was good, then boring, then it got better, then it was boring again. I never watched it. I saw the movie. In fact, I saw the second movie too, of course, which was nowhere near as good as the first. But I never watched the series. Just like I used to have people tell me all the time that I should watch Babylon 5. And I started watching it when it originally came out. And it was another series, of course, that was every week it was coming out. I watched like the first 3 episodes and I was like, you know, this just, it's not my bag. I'm just not getting into it. Plus, I always thought the special effects were kind of weak. So, I don't know. Alrighty. So, yes, Ronald Griffith. Have a great weekend, everyone. Yes. Yes, as Flaming Heron points out, Babylon 5 is a lot like Star Trek. Yes, it did have that vibe. And yes, I did hear that Babylon 5 got way better. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. One thing that's nice about at least Star Trek Next Generation, and I think Deep Space Nine, is that Paramount sunk a few $1 million into revamping the special effects in both those series. And they were able to do that because those were shot on film. The other Star Trek shows they can't do anything with because they weren't shot on film. They were shot on video. And of course, it was video that was formatted for like 480p. So kind of stuck with those being the way they're going to be. So, all right. Anyway, as I like to point out, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to the channel. If you do, ring that little bell because it'll notify you when the Daily Dope goes live, as well as tell you when I upload standalone videos. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Everybody who hung out on a Friday night, thank you very much Fridays are always kind of wild because, yeah, I expect no one to be around. Really, I do. Because I figure, it's Friday night, people are doing stuff. So always appreciate folks hanging out and chat, whatever night it is, to keep me company so I don't feel like a complete doofus just talking into a camera. But then again, if you watch after the fact, even if it's on Memorex, Betamax, what have you, I also appreciate that as well. Appreciate everyone taking time out to watch. So, of course, everyone have a great weekend. Those of you in areas that are going to have some really lousy weather, be careful. Be very careful out there. I made sure that we've got plenty of groceries and that, so I don't have to basically leave the house for the weekend. But I will be back on Monday. And of course, until then, happy trails, everybody. Oh, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. And of course, if you want to catch up on past episodes of The Daily Dope, check out this playlist. And if you'd like to see what YouTube's recommending you take a peek at from the channel, just give a click right over here. Of course, I'm Jeff McAleer, and once again, thank you very much for watching.